It's hump day at Cruisin the Coast here, Rhino. A beautiful day down here on the fantastic Mississippi Gulf Coast. What a view we have of all these classic automobiles and even a little peek at the Gulf itself. Joining us now, Ricky Mathews, host of the Ricky Mathews Show. Double duty today, Ricky.
It is. Great to see you down here, my friend.
Good to see you, too, as well, sir. So what a fantastic event this always is. It brings people to the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. They show these classic cars and automobile enthusiasts from all over the place coming here, descend upon the Biloxi Green here and Highway 90 to take in the sights. It's incredible that we preserve all this history.
It is. It really is. And you think about it, where we were on August 29, 2005 here in coastal Mississippi and where we are today, one of the most incredible recovery efforts in the history of the U.S. And now we have all 12 cities from Waveland to Moss Point and all points in between engaged in this. What a great way to showcase our recovery.
You know, every time I come down here, which is fairly frequent, it just seems like it's a little more active. You see a little bit more activity, more traffic, more hustle and bustle, more just economic output, which is good. That's what it's all about. That's what makes the coast such a great part of our state.
It is. I mean, you think about the bookends, the economic bookends, Ingalls and Chevron, the blue chip industries that are part of Stennis, and then the all points in between with the Port of Gulfport, and of course, tourism, and we get to see, it's not just Biloxi, it's not just coastal Mississippi, it's Mississippi's tourism economy, and you know, one of the most seminal events that we would have in Mississippi playing out before our very eyes. This is an economic engine for the state. It's important that this be successful.
And we should also point out, this isn't just limited to where we are in Biloxi. I mean, this really does affect the entire coastal region, certainly all three of the coastal counties and even those to the north. And it's always interesting to me, Ricky, when we're getting ready for Cruising the Coast, even up in my way, up in central Mississippi, I see the classic cars, you know, either driving or in tow en route here.
Yeah, I was in the Mississippi Delta at my place there last couple of weekends, but this past weekend, on the way home, the number of cars on trailers, the number of cars being driven, literally from every state in the U.S. to come here and enjoy this incredible event. It's very special.
Considered by the USA Today as the top automobile show in the country.
Yeah, right, and that's something. The Super Bowl of car events, literally.
27th annual, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
27th,
yeah.
Which is just incredible. And you see people across the age spectrum as well. So it's good to see that the older generations are passing on this love for American classic cars to the younger folks.
Yeah, Judy Young from coastal Mississippi made this point earlier that you see a lot of more kids here today. There's a fall break that's happening right now. So an opportunity to be able to introduce this to a younger generation, I think just strategically it's really smart, as you well know, to do it that way. So, yeah, you've got all kinds of demographics, people from all over the world. It's just an amazing event.
It truly is. And just from my anecdotal observation, the crowd seemed to be a little thicker at this point during the day than I remember in past years.
Yeah, look at Highway 90. It's
unbelievable.
It's bustling. And there's a new city, Waveland, all the way over in Hancock County that was added this year, and there's an event happening there as we speak.
Unbelievable.
So, you know, Woody's idea, the idea of the Cruising the Coast is to spread the cars out. And I think they've done a terrific job of doing that. Think of the thousands of volunteers that it takes to pull something like this off.
It's unbelievable, and they do it without a hitch, and it's transparent. I mean, those who attend and get to experience this don't really have to worry about all that. It's already been taken care of for them, and especially we should point out our fantastic law enforcement community as well that plays a huge role in making all this be pulled off successfly.
Yeah, the first responders. If you think about the three coast counties, the governments of the three coast counties, the governments of the 12 coast cities, I mean, just think of the logistics undertaking this is, because they're not just handling the crowd as it relates to traffic, but they're handling events like this simultaneously all across coastal Mississippi. It's just it's something to behold.
And they work together and they integrate so well.
Yeah.
And with all the technology we have today, that task is made a little bit less painful, which is a good thing. And you know, all the ones you talk to really enjoy being part of this and enjoy serving the public, keeping everybody safe and orderly, and really is just a whole lot of fun. So give us an update on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I mean, what's happening down here that you want to tell us about?
Well, I tell you, it's all cruising right now. But, the weather's going to be in the low 50s here Saturday morning. Can you imagine the impression that's going to have?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Low 50s and dry. They're pretty sure they're going to hit a record this year, so it'll be the biggest event ever. I had Pete Vicari from Vicari Auctions. He has the big car auction. He has over 500 cars that they'll be auctioning off over the next several days. Everywhere in coastal Mississippi, we're just proud to see this.
Yeah, it truly is awesome. And, of course, I know you talked to Mayor Fofo Gillich earlier this morning on your program. He's coming on MidDays as well, and we'll get an update from him on how things are going in Biloxi. We've also got Jimmy Ladner, president of Coastal Mississippi Board of Commissioners. He'll come on the program and talk to us. Just a lot of folks that are highly involved in the coast community here that we'll hear from today. What do you think about stuff going on up there in Washington while we got you here? We got a few minutes left to discuss that.
It's sad. That's how I feel about it. It's sad. At a time when Republicans should be coming together, we're divided. And
it sure seems like it.
It's really unfortunate. It's tough because you have so many different factions in the Republican Party, and we seem to be moving in that direction. But frankly, McCarthy, to get elected, kind of sold his soul.
He
let one person be able to do what happened. What I think we should do is learn a lesson from this and never allow that to happen again.
I bet you're right. I bet we won't ever see that sort of deal cut when they make the rules that would allow one member essentially to call for a vote to vacate the speakership. Nancy Pelosi certainly never did that. It always required a majority vote to even bring it to the floor, and that was never going to happen. But all Democrats, of course, sided with 8 Republicans in voting to oust the Speaker of the House. This is what really shocked me, though, Ricky, is we got Patrick McHenry that's temporarily presiding right now. And he sent them all home.
Yeah.
Sent them all home. So, wait, I thought this was really critical, important, urgent business we had to take care of, mainly funding the government. Why'd he send them all home?
Where is the sense of urgency in that?
Would you do that in the private sector?
Of course
if you were
not.
facing that kind of urgent situation.
It would be all hands hit the deck.
24 hours a day until you figured it out.
All hands hit the deck. We're at a turning point, and let's pray that we're never here again, Gerard.
I hope so. Gosh, we got enough problems fighting the onslaught of policy from the left, wide open borders, rampant crime. Of course, we're looking at a $2 trillion deficit for the fiscal year, which just ended September 30th. Looks like that's scheduled to be even greater next year. That's the kind of stuff we need to be holed up in a room talking about, rather than kind of all this brinksmanship and just personality conflicts.
It's a sad moment for America, but sometimes when you're down, someone once said there's a powerful lubrication to change that comes from pain. We're feeling a lot of pain right now, so I hope the Republican Party learns from this and puts whatever they have to put in place to never enable this to happen again.
Well, I agree, and you wonder, how this will affect the elections next year. You got, obviously, everybody up in the House up for election, 30-some-odd seats up for election in the Senate, and, of course, we go to the polls to elect the president again. How will this play out? How will this affect that?
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting, isn't it?
We'll be watching it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Mississippi elections coming up here, the general election here in a little over a month.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that at this point?
It's always going to be close. You know that. It's going to be close. But both candidates are working hard.
Yeah.
Tate Reeves is really working hard. I think Republicans will come out on top when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I do too. At the end of the day, I think that's the case. We still have lots of challenges in our state to address. One of those, you well know, we talked about a lot, is the healthcare situation. Big news in the healthcare world this morning is 75,000 employees of Kaiser have decided to strike, to walk out. 75,000, and they want higher wages, better benefits, and other amenities of employment, which is going to drive cost up even further. I mean, it's a tiger by the tail sort of deal. Ricky, always good to see you, sir. Appreciate you coming on, and congratulations on the success of your show, and of course SuperTalk Outdoors. You do a great job there. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
We're coming right back with more here from the Element Well studio. We're down at Cruisin the Coast on the beautiful